Minimalists.
How do we let go of long-term commitments and obligations, especially the things we typically enjoy, but we're just burnt out on?
So long-term commitments and obligations, things that we've committed to, right? Here, I'll just give my pithy answer, and then maybe Ben can expand. Everything you've picked up, you can put down. I think we don't realize that. All of a sudden, we're traveling up Mount Everest with 150 pounds worth of gear on our back, and we picked it all up 1 ounce at a time, too, right? And not realizing, like, oh man, I've got so much. And this weight can be literal. You can have a lot of stuff, but there can be all of these other weights too, the obligations and commitments that Zoe's talking about here.
Yes. Anthony DeMello in his book Awareness sums it up quite nicely when he says that we should be able to look at anything in life that we derive pleasure from and say to that object, that item, that person, that thing, that activity, I derive pleasure from you, but I am not attached to you for my happiness. I do not depend upon you for my happiness. If there's anything in your life that you can't say that to without feeling a little pit in your stomach and a little bit of resistance to saying that, then that is something that has become an unhealthy attachment or a pleasure that you're actually relying upon for your happiness. So I would read Anthony DeMello's book Awareness. Very quick read, simple to get through, but it really teaches you how to release a lot of those attachments, how to release a lot of those pleasures. And I've found that for me, in terms of cleaning up the clutter, that a big part of that clutter is related to what another author, Napoleon Hill, dictates in his book, Outwitting the Devil. Outwitting the Devil describes this so-called hypnotic trance, right? These rituals, these habits, these routines that we set up for ourselves that we become very addicted to throughout the day. We have this dopaminergic response to, I've got my stretch routine, in fitness, I got my stretch routine, I got my breath routine, I got this workout, I got that workout. Oh, I just found out about the sauna, so now I got to do the sauna. And, somebody's talking about cold thermogenesis, so I need to figure out how to throw that. And by the end of the day, there's all these things to do. Right? But you can get drawn into it as just like this hypnotic trance of rituals and routines and habits. And you need to be able to step back and identify those things that you're just doing because they've become a habit that you feel like you have to do versus those things that are actually necessary and crucial for you to feel really fulfilled at the end of the day. And you'd be surprised at how few things there are that are actually truly necessary versus those things that become mildly addictive habits.
Yeah. This question makes me think about what you were talking about earlier with examining our purpose and being willing to change that. I think the same thing goes with our commitments. Maybe, on a yearly basis, you look down and look at all your commitments and ask yourself which ones are worth keeping and which ones might have to go, what you might have to change. My pithy answer is this: a meaningful life overflows with joy, not commitments. So when I think about that, when I was reading this question, I also thought about how a commitment should ultimately lead you to something joyful. If I know there are certain commitments in life that, we've got to go to work and pay the bills, but ultimately that is leading to something joyful. But if you've committed to something that is completely non-joyful, I give you permission to let it go, Zoe.